How to install guttering around your carport, your shed, or even your house. Now, what tools and equipment are we going to need besides a step ladder or a scaffold? Well, some people wear gloves. I personally don't wear gloves unless I'm really going to mess my hands up. You're going to need your safety glasses if you're sawing or drilling above your head. You're going to need a tape measure and a carpenter's pencil or some way of marking the fascia. You're going to need some saw or some way of cutting the actual guttering itself. You're going to require a level, a spirit level for plumbing up your downpipes and stuff. You're going to need some kind of screwdriver or battery drill. You may even need to have a drill bit if they're drilling into something like a plastic fascia. You're going to need a string line and possibly a plumb line as well if you're working to a grid or some kind of outlet. And you will need screws. Now, the best screws to use will be brass screws, but they're expensive. So you can use corrosion resistant screws or zinc plated or something like that, but make sure you use the correct screws, what the manufacturer of the guttering says you need to use. Screws I recommend to use are 25mm long by 5 round head brass or zinc screws. Don't use countersunk screws because in heavy snow they could pull through the brackets. The things you might need is a file to file the actual end of your cut, and possibly a silicone spray or a silicone grease to put on the rubber seal, which will help with the expansion and contraction of the guttering. So I think that's all you need. Now, first thing I need to do is check and make sure I have installed the fascia level, because this will help me massively with my measuring. And as you can see, it's pretty much spot on. Now, the fall for guttering, if I can remember, is 1 in 350. So that means for every 1 metre we need to drop about 3.5mm. This is 10 metres long, but I'm going to be putting the running outlet around here somewhere because I'm putting the downpipe on this post, not on the end post. So it'll slope down to here and then it'll slope down to here. Hopefully. Working out your fall, also make sure that you've got no more than 50mm showing of the fascia board really. Now my roof's going to come down a little bit